Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to Air Foundation School System. Our today's topic is homeostasis and that is the 11th chapter of grade 10. First of all, you should know what is homeostasis. Homeostasis can be defined. It is the maintenance of internal condition of the body, whatever the condition in the outside environment. Mean, what are the conditions in the outer environment? It does not matter. The internal condition should be maintained. And that maintenance of internal condition is called homeostasis. For example, temperature maintained in the body, whatever is the temperature in the outer environment, and in the same way some other conditions are also maintained. So homeostasis we can give three examples of this homeostasis. First one is osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is maintenance of salt and water in the body fluid and in the blood. And next one is example of osmoregulation is glucose. Glucose will be 1 gram in the blood. That will not be changed. Whatever will be carbohydrate are included in our diet. It is independent of the external intake of glucose. And the second one is the glucose in the blood is 1 gram per liter. And the second one is thermoregulation. Thermoregulation is the maintenance of internal temperature, that is 37 degrees centigrade. Whatever is the temperature in the outside environment, whether it is very cold or hot conditions are outside, the internal condition will be 37 degrees centigrade. Third example is excretion. Excretion is the removal of some waste material, salts, nitrogenous waste or some other metabolic waste from the body. That is also to maintain the internal condition. Now we will see homeostasis in detail in plants and in animals. First of all, we discuss the homeostasis in plants. Plants apply some mechanism for homeostasis in their body. Mean how they maintain the internal conditions of different chemicals, different gases. First of all, we will see how they maintain the carbon dioxide and oxygen concentration in their body. During daytime, when respiration takes place, carbon dioxide produced in the plant, that carbon dioxide is used in the photosynthesis during daytime, because photosynthesis takes place in the daytime. And oxygen is produced as a byproduct of photosynthesis, and that is used during respiration. In this way, carbon dioxide and oxygen are maintained. But during night, when photosynthesis don't take place, carbon dioxide released during respiration, that is not used in the photosynthesis, because photosynthesis does not take place at the night time. So that carbon dioxide will be released out in the outside environment by diffusion. That's why it is said that don't come near to the trees and plants during night, because of higher level of concentration of carbon dioxide in that environment. And sometimes tomato when closed during night time, that carbon dioxide is released by diffusion of their leaves and stem surface. Carbon dioxide is also released from the root hair surface by diffusion. That is the maintenance of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Oxygen that is produced during daytime is released during the process of photosynthesis, is released in the outer environment. But at the night time, photosynthesis does not occur, so the oxygen not produced and will not be released at that time. Now, how they maintain the plants, maintain the water condition in their body. During daytime, plants absorb water from their roots, and water is also produced during respiration. That water used during photosynthesis in the daytime, and extra water will be released by a process of transpiration. But at the night time, transpiration does not take place. So what will happen? At the night time, xylem vessels, they absorb water from their roots, and stomata are closed, so transpiration will not take place. That will be accumulated in the xylem vessels, and that will be accumulated at the leaf tips and edges in the form of small droplets. That process is called guttation at the margin of the leaf. You can see that guttation process in the morning because small droplets appear on the margin of leaves, and that should not be confused with the dew. What is dew? Dew is small droplets present on the surface of the leaf. That is, these droplets, condensed form of water vapors from the atmosphere. So, guttation is the release of internal extra water, and dew is the condensed water from the environment. These are two separate things. How the other metabolic waste are released from the body? What mechanism used by the plants for the release of metabolic waste? In some plants, some metabolic waste such as calcium oxalate in tomato plant, these are accumulated in the form of crystals in leaves and stems, and these leaves are shed off. In some plant, resin is a metabolic waste such as in coniferous plants. These are also released from the stem. Gums, these are released by kicker plant. And in rubber plant, you can see a white fluid released from the stem. Mucilage is also a metabolic waste, and in carnivorous plants and in ladyfinger, that is released by the stem or from the ladyfinger, it is released. So these are the different mechanisms for the release of different chemicals and materials to maintain their internal condition. How osmotic adjustment takes place in plant? What changes takes place in plants to maintain the internal condition? Three categories of plants are there. First one is hydrophytes. These are the plants of water. An example is water lily. In this category, these are the aquatic plants. These are present in water, aquatic plants or submerged in water, and they have broad leaves. Their leaves are broad, and large number of stomata are present on the upper broad surface so that the rate of transpiration can be maximum to get rid of extra water to maintain the internal water conditions. So these are the changes in the hydrophyte plants. What changes takes place in xerophytes? Example of xerophytic plant is cactus. In plural we can say cacti. What adaptations are present in xerophyte plants to face the water shortage problem? First of all, the leaf and the stem surface is thick waxy so that transpiration could be minimized, loss of water could not take place. Their stomata are very few in number. Their roots are very deep and penetrate in the soil to absorb maximum water, and their parenchyma cells can store large amount of water and form succulent organs, juicy part that can store water. What changes takes place in halophytes or in sea plants? Because that is sea environment contain salts in more amount, hypertonic conditions are there, and water can move from plants to the outer hypertonic environment. What will happen? They by utilization of energy, they hold the salts inside their vacuoles. When they hold salts inside the vacuoles, they don't allow the salts to go out from the cells. In this way, internal environment will become more salty. So, water will not move out of the cell. For example, in seagrasses, in this way, they can survive in the salty environment. I hope you will be able to understand these two topics. Prepare it for your assessments properly. Thank you, students.